Were you concerned of doing Field of Dreams after Bull Durham about being typecast or anything like that?
No, I didn't think that at all. I mean, I didn't realize. I'm kind of like a mongoose playing with a cobra, I think, in my life. It's like I'm not really aware of the danger at all of anything. It's like, when I cast Whitney, did you know she was African American? Yes. I saw that. Just happened to think she was the cutest girl that could sing. What's wrong with that? I didn't realize it was such a big deal. The baseball thing was, do you know their box office poison? Hadn't really heard that. It's a clever term. Maybe it's because none of them were any good. So I made the one, and then the other one so distinguished itself that I didn't want to ignore it, because sometimes you go out there and you pass up the biggest, most important thing because you think you're looking for something else. And you got to listen to the ticking of your heart. You have to actually understand that you might be looking for a supermodel, but take a look. The girl serving you at the restaurant's the best looking chick in the place. You have to have your eyes wide open and kind of see it for what it is. It was great. We didn't change a line of Bull Durham. We did not change a line of Field of Dreams. And I will tell you this. We had to get lucky to take Field of Dreams where it went to, because it was so well written, but it was almost goofy. We didn't have a fist fight. We didn't have a car wreck. We were making our way to, do you want to have a catch? And we had to negotiate this whole thing, and I've told this story before, but I did talk to the director because I thought Robin Williams was going to play that role. I don't know if I told you this story, but I did tell you. Well, then I won't even bother you with it. But there were a lot of things had to happen, and I think him casting me helped the idea of working our way all the way to having a catch.
Oh, it's beautiful. And is it true Jimmy Stewart might have been involved with this film at some point?
No, I never heard that. But I tell you what, when Lancaster was, I got to tell you, I just loved being around him. He's a great actor, and I remember I started talking to him about the Kentuckian and he goes, "You saw that?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "You saw that? Let me tell you how I did that." And I said, "Yeah, the scene where you run across. Let me tell you how I did it." He said, "First I ran." He said, "What I did was I went all the way to the end, and then I ran all the way back. And when I understood how quick I was going to have to be in order to load the gun and get there, that's where I started. That's how I do everything." And you saw that. I said, "Yeah, I saw that. I saw that thing with Walter Matthau. Walter Matthau, incredible character actor, but he was a mean son of a bitch in that thing. And I saw that." "You saw that?" "Yeah, I saw that." He goes, "You saw where the whip went under the wagon and the wheel ran over it?" And I said, "Yeah, I saw that." We spent a lot of time talking. And he said, "Me and Stewart, we scared the studios, scared them to death." It was just fun to be around him.
Of course it had to be. I mean, and again, at that part of your career, as it is zooming off a rocket ship, Kevin. I mean, again, to be in a movie with Burt Lancaster as you were, and then in No Way Out of being around Gene Hackman. What was that like? Being around him? You get on these things where people ask you questions about lists. Who's the best this? Who's the best that? And it's, boy, you just don't want to start down that because you've worked with so many really good people. Sure.
And they hear that, they go, "What?" But let's get to it. If I had to say the best actor I've worked with, I would say it felt like Gene Hackman. And there was something so real about him. And if you say who's the biggest star, that's pretty easy too.
Who's that?
Sean Connery.
In the Untouchables.
The biggest star in the world. So
where does De Niro rank with that?
Pardon me?
Where does De Niro rank for that?
Well, De Niro is this exotic animal that you just see the menace and the craft and the whole thing that comes in. I mean, that's why you don't make really lists. What you're dealing with is somebody very formidable, and it was it was just, I've been lucky because I have worked with those guys.
I thought he was legitimately going to get you at the end of Untouchables. After you put him away and he needs to be held back, I legitimately thought he was going to actually break out and get you in that scene.
You know, and I'm playing Elliot Ness, this guy that's pretty straight arrow, and he's going, "You're nothing but a talking a badge," mouth. And he's just like, I was thinking, how do I deal with this? Because he was doing a lot of improv, and Sean goes, "Mr. Nash, come over here," and I said, because he called me Mr. Nash, and he goes, "This is how you handle that," and Sean was just a beautiful guy, man.
Well, how did he tell you how to handle it?
He said, "He's gonna blow you away." No, it was just private. It was just so private, and I'll just keep that between him and I. But he thought enough of me to say, "Look, this is how you can handle this."
I love that. Boy, I can go so many different directions. I've got Kevin Costner here. JFK, Donald Sutherland just passed away. What was that scene with Mr. X on the park bench like?
Well,
Kevin?
We had another really long one too, and that scene never made it in the movie. There was a moment where Oliver needed to get his movie under 3 hours, and there was 10-minute scene with me and Donald, and that just went. And I talked to Oliver about it. I said, "Why can't we go deeper into the movie and take a minute out here and a minute out there and a minute out over there and a minute and hold on to this one?" And I'm sure it killed Oliver to do it, but it was such a clean cut, and it got him to that point. And I know what it's like to just be pressed by studios to get something. But I got to tell you, you don't have a career like Donald Sutherland unless you're as good as Donald Sutherland. That sounds a little bit odd, but you can't do it as long as him unless you're able to just bubble up every role that's put in front of you. And I remember the first time I saw him was in MASH. I was a teenager, and I thought, wow, this guy was really, really good. And he flourished in our business because he's an actor's actor, and he was good off camera too to talk to.
I could only imagine. I mean, this scene also where he's going through the deepest of the conspiratorial.
Yeah, he walks us through it.
In a very cogent way, where it's something that would be very, if there was on a wall, thered be a lot of strings attached to different pins and photographs on the wall.
And it was a combination of Oliver flexing and then having an actor like Donald that could have command of his craft. So we've lost a true actor and an actor's actor.
What was the scene that got cut?
It was on that bench. It was on that bench again. It was just really, Oliver dug deep. He went really deep, and it was just more stuff that started to make sense to me for the movie. And I'm a longer is better guy. So I'm saying, no, this actually helped me understand even more. Because no, we'll get by with just where, Donald was, and that's how it played out.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.